How's everybody doing today? Alright, today is Wednesday, what is it, November 18th. I have not watched the episode of Oak Island yet. I record mine and watch it on Wednesday night with my mom, so don't ruin it for me. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, so what I'm going to get into today are two things. I'm going to get into one of the discoveries, or not discoveries, but one of the interesting aspects of the geometric progression and the 522-45 theory, which I did in my last video, which is the interpretation of, I'll just do a little bit of a recap. La Formula is a code, and using a cipher you get a message in French. And this is new too. I didn't cover this in my last video, but in the deciphering of the code you get this, this is 522, but the 2 is spelled D-E-U-S. Now, 2 in French is D-E-U-X. And reading some of the comments on the Blockhouse blog, and they really sort of speculate that maybe that's the way it was spelled for 2, but D-E-U-S in Old Latin is God. It is the name. It is the word God. So I'm going to show you something very interesting on some of the evidence that, by the way, is in Rick Lagina's possession that was given to him by Zena Halpren. It is the map that went along with La Formula. It was presented on the show, and I'm going to do a little bit about that at the end of this video. But to go back to the 45-522 theory, and I don't know if I'm going to call it 522-45 or 45-522, I don't know. But when you take, what I did is I took, on the geometric progression, I had this point here, which I believe is where the shaft is, and it was amazing. Some of the things, I mean, really, it just basically lined up a lot of things that weren't there before. And I didn't change anything except positioned from this point right here. I took here and I went 45 degrees and found where it would be 522 feet, and it ends up relocating the money pit right here. So according to the geometric progression, I had to extend the anchor stone out to here. And these are points that are not known, the anchor stones, but they are on Zena Halpren's map. And what I did is I just overlaid the map and just took a stab at where I thought they may be. I think they're pretty much very integral in locating the money pit. But I didn't really just take a stab. Through the other progressions, this anchor stone actually is a direct north-south line from the point of this triangle, which is part of the progression to extend this triangle out from Nolan's Cross to mirror this triangles, these two triangles that were the extension to find the trap door. And the money pit is actually due east of this anchor stone. So it wasn't that I just took them out of thin air. They actually line up with the geometric progression, but these anchor stones will move, and they can move since they're not known yet. So, but one of the things that really struck me is when I set up the 545 522. Now it brings into play the stone at the top of Nolan's Cross. It goes right to it. Right to it. Intersects the pole or the shaft, intersects the money pit, which got moved, but it ends up, and I had already established this point. This is what's called the Triangle of Peter. It is named on the map, and I overlaid it, and this is a position, and I also had a photograph that was from the old 50s, and all these trees were gone, and there was a stone. It looked like a stone out there, a big stone, that I figured that would be a good marker, because it has to be something. So I was figuring it may be a stone. But anyway, I did not move that. That was always positioned there, and it lined up almost perfectly. So I'm going to move on to a different piece of material, and this is also in Zena Halpren's material that went along with Les Formulas, is this map. And this map here, okay, this is the actual one that was on the show. And the way it's supposed to show the location of Oak Island, and I went through the calculations. I won't go through it, in detail, but it is pretty much the way it works is there's this star right here. I wish I could just scroll to zoom this in, but I have to go up here. There's a star right here, there's a star right here, and there's a star right here. And what this does is it's a register point. This is upper, over to the left here is upper Nova Scotia, here is lower Nova Scotia, and you take these stars and you put them all on top of each other, and then it will all line up. So he's broken it up, and this star runs through the 64th meridian, and he also gives you that he's also referencing here. He gives you a key. This is the 45th 00 north parallel, and notice there's a hook X here. That's really cool. There's a hooked X. So anyway, when you line those up, and then you have these coordinates here of Rodin, which I'll show you on Google Earth later where it ends up. It's pretty much out in the middle of nowhere. These are minutes and seconds, and this is down here for this parallel is it's 2-minute references. He's basically giving you it's in between these two. Why he didn't put seconds, I don't know. And then here on the top, he goes, it looks like it says, that would be L, it looks like it says 66, because there's a V, you can't see that. So it's 66 and 6, and this would be 63 and 57. Well, if that was the case, this would be way east of this star, and this would be way out there west. So it doesn't make sense, except that these L's, or if they are L's, these are place markers for the star coordinates. So this would be 64 degrees and 16 minutes and 6 seconds. And this would be 64 degrees, which is the L, and then 13 minutes and 57 seconds. So those are your meridians. So when you put that into Google Earth, now for the lines of latitude, you take this, which is 45 degrees. You subtract 45 degrees, which is interesting. You subtract 45 degrees and 45 minutes and 15 seconds off of that, and then you do the same here. You take once you get the coordinate here, you take another 45 off of here, and you subtract when you're going south, and you end up with a coordinate parallel here. On east and west, you would add these. If I said subtract, you add them. So you would add 64, you would add 13 minutes, so it would be 64, 13 minutes and 57 seconds, 64, and would be, was it 64, 16, and 6 seconds. And then down here, it wouldn't be 45, it would end up being 44. It would be 45 minus these minutes, 45 minus these minutes, and it ends up being 44 something. So I'm not going to get into the math on this video, but anyway, the coordinates end up being right here for Oak Island. And then if I zoom out, you have, here's your register point, here's Rodon. See, it's out in the middle of nowhere. Looks like a cool place though. I don't know. And then you have your register point, which, where'd it go? Is up here, which makes sense if it was going to be a start point, because I don't know if you can get in there with a boat or not, but it looks like it's a little town called Newport. So anyway, if you zoom out and you look at the configuration, you know, they're pretty much in line. And we look at the map, and you know, it's not exact. It doesn't look exactly how it does on this map, but you can do it yourself if you want to. You can look at this map on your video and pause it and see if I made it right. Some of the here's the other interesting fact I want to point out about this map. Right down here on Oak Island, I mean, it doesn't name it Oak Island or even the Isle of Oaks or anything like that. This coordinate here, it looks like it's labeled La Mira de Deus. Where did we see that before? D-E-U-S. Well, this translates into the Mother of God. And below here it says Le Disse, or I'm not a French speaker, so I don't know, but it's D-E-E-S-S-E, which is the goddess. Wow, that's really weird. I don't know if if this is made up, then they were really aiming for something that I don't even think was in their books. I haven't read those books, so I don't know. But what do you think? I mean, what are they saying here? Are they saying that the Virgin Mary is buried on Oak Island? Are they saying the remains of the Virgin Mary are on Oak Island? That's the mother of God. Now, the goddess would go along a different line of thinking, but it's almost pretty much, you could pretty much not too far of a stretch to say that that's what they're saying here. All right, well, that's what I have. There's a lot of interesting things on this map if you want to look at it. It's pretty interesting to look at. One of the other things is the current of moss. That's what this says. The Bay of Fundy was called the current of moss. I thought that was pretty funny. Must be a lot of seaweed coming out. So that's pretty much all I have for today. And I will talk to you after I watch the next episode of Oak Island. All right? Thanks for watching. Have a good night.